If your dog is reactive in the car, it's gonna be like this, but he's not happy with the there. It sucks, it's distracting, it's dangerous. We're going to approach this with the acid principle that I came up with. So you have 4 options anytime you have an unwanted behavior. Any behavior, but you need to decide or try. You don't have to like pick one. You can try the different ones. Most people end up doing the C last because nobody wants to correct your dog. So the first thing you can do with any unwanted behavior like reacting in the car is you could avoid the behavior. The ways to avoid this behavior, because I mean you can't completely avoid it unless you're going to walk your dog everywhere. I suppose you could put them in somebody else's car, right? Just get an Uber for your dog. That must exist now. If it doesn't, billion-dollar idea, have at her. You could, the best way that I find to avoid your dog reacting in the car is to put them in a crate, put a blanket over the crate, put a fan on them, just a little portable USB rechargeable fan. At the same time, turn up the music a bit, lots of short trips to desensitize them. They can't see what they're reacting to, they're much less likely to react. This C stands for correct. You can correct unwanted behaviors. I find the best thing to do in order to correct unwanted behaviors in the car with like extreme reactivity is to use a pet corrector. Condensed air, you can blow it at the dog, you can blow it away from the dog. It's loud, it's intense. So in this situation, there's 4 dogs in this car, not buckled, nothing right now. They're tired, which is helpful, so I ran them beforehand. But it wouldn't be fair to like my 10-year-old lab right here. Vega, lift your head, say hi to everyone. Wouldn't be fair to her for me to start blowing the pet corrector in here, or any of them. The Peep is probably not gonna care. Trying to spray water is another thing, but again, very challenging on the move. Correcting, my choice would be that or e-collar. Your dog needs to be properly trained to the e-collar. A correction from the e-collar, it works. So avoid, correct, ignore. You could just ignore it, get some AirPods, put them on noise canceling, turn up the reggaeton, and ignore it. Let them react. I don't recommend it. It's very dangerous to let because the next thing you know, they're bouncing off the walls and they're over here and they're over there and they're jumping up on you if they're not restrained, which they should be if they're not very well trained, and even then they should be restrained. The last thing is you can distract them. You could put sticky mats on. Again, this isn't like, do this one or do. You need to decide, you need to try. But there are times where some dogs, you don't need to correct them. A lot of balance trainers just think, boom, you got to go right to a correction. But what if you put licky sticky mats on your windows, some frozen peanut butter? I probably wouldn't use raw meat. You get one of these. Normally I have like a hammock thing right here for our trips to the field, and chewing on a bone. They're in a crate chewing on their bone every time, and the only time they go in their kennel is or in the car, they get a bone. It's the only time they get a bone. Hey, distraction can work very, very well sometimes. Obedience is really important thing to factor in. So I need to be able to say to him, Parker, come, and have him be right here. Now normally it would be like sit, Parker, no, sit. And so I'm using e-collar pressure to convince him to do that right now when he doesn't necessarily want to. Parker, sit, good boy. I need to be able to get him to sit or lay down. That's really all you need in that context. He lifts his bum. I can tap while focusing. I can just look at him in the mirror. Short little trips with a mission, with a purpose of, we're going to deal with your reactivity right now. We're going out in public, not to get to grandma's house for Christmas dinner. Why do people take their dogs to family reunions and things like that? That I never got. Because there are babies. Mine stay at home for Christmas dinner. So it's just about having the reps of, we're going out on purpose. Having a friend drive while you manage your dog, so that way you're not trying to multitask at the same time in a very, very dangerous way. Questions, comments, other suggestions, put them in the comments below. Know that you're loved. Bye meow.